When you are creating content for YouTube, whether you're streaming or doing produced edited content such as this, having a good monitor or a workstation just makes your life a whole lot easier. Quick story, I recently updated my laptop from one that I bought in 2018, shortly after I really started producing content for the channel, to a new Asus Republic of Gamers unit. And it's super fast, it works great, but it's got a smaller display, and for that, I'm not loving it. Now, I do have a secondary monitor that I utilize to be able to have my working files on one side while I have my core files that I'm working on in my editing suite on my main display. But it's one of those things that I'm now up to three total monitors on my desk and everything, and I just wanted to simplify things. Now, for Amazon Prime days, I was looking for a larger monitor, and I didn't see anything. But GameStop actually recently just sent out a mailer where if you are a Pro member, you could save up to $100 off of select Samsung monitors. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Thanks for stopping by and checking out what we have going on here. I apologize if I cough. My allergies are just acting up right now. What I want to know from you here today, before we dive into this video, I have Dr. Luigi on the Wii U playing behind me. I just want to know if you've ever played it and what you thought of it. It's actually a really fun entry into the series, and a moment of silence for the Wii U going dark. Okay, we're good. So, like I mentioned, I recently got an email from GameStop where they had their monitors from Samsung on sale, and if you are a Pro member, you can get extra savings on them. And I was looking for like a 28 to a 32-inch monitor, and this one here, with all the savings and discounts and everything, was on sale for 130 bucks. Now, it has some good things going for it, it has some okay things going for it, and it has some things going against it. First and foremost, and this will depend on what you're looking to use it for, it's only 1080p. For me, with a 32-inch monitor, I'm okay with that. These videos, I only do 1080p output. It's one of those that the working files are smaller that way. The time to go ahead and edit it is a little bit shorter. And quite honestly, from 1080p to 4K, don't notice a ton of difference. At least I don't. This does also have some smart apps built into it as well, so it's almost like a TV. So what I'm looking to do with this is not only have this as a second monitor, but perhaps something that I can use to stream from. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna unbox this, we're gonna set it up, we're gonna test it out, and we're gonna see, is this a solution that will end up making our working process here on the channel easier. Let's get started. So not very sexy, but this is basically behind the scenes where I do my editing, and what you're seeing here is I work remote for my day job 1 day a week. So I've got my work machine and I've got my personal machine, and I actually have my previous machine right here. And as you can see, I do have an AOC 24-inch monitor here, along with my Lepow 15.6-inch monitor over here. This is just my little mount for my camera so that I can use the light box and everything. So what we're looking to do is kind of condense and reduce everything down. So even though I'm going to go with a bigger monitor, so we're going to replace the 24-inch AOC monitor here, and we're going to get a little bit interesting here. Let's take a closer look. Now, one of the things that I am going to do with this monitor is I did actually pick up a articulating mount for the system itself, or for the monitor itself. Now, this is kind of heavy. I'm hoping my desk is sturdy enough that it can support it. That is a bit of a concern. So, dusted everything off. First thing I am going to do is just unpackage this and see what I need to do to set this up here. Oh, there's a lot to it, maybe, kind of, sort of. So, WISA mount for the back. WISA have a mouse. Okie day. Sorry for those who may have just had flashbacks to Jar Jar Binks. So while we wait on our laptop to fire up, gotta say a couple things. Real nice bezels, very small around the edges, a little bit thicker underneath, which is to be expected. Samsung Smart Monitor. It just turned my TV off behind me, by the way, which is hilarious.
Please select your language. The accessibility
I wasn't expecting that.
is available when you press and hold.
It has built-in. Well, I guess it would have to have Wi-Fi for the apps. That was actually really quick. All right, that's nice. That gives you a QR code to scan and get into your Samsung account, which I already have one set up, so we'll get that going on my phone. Speakers actually sound surprisingly good for something this small. Okay, enjoy your smartphone screen on your monitor simply by tapping. Really? So we'll launch the SmartThings app here. So we're going to do tap view, tap sound. Tap the back of your phone against your TV or soundbar. So remember just a few moments ago when I said my cough and everything, it wasn't COVID, it was just allergies? It was COVID. Took a couple days to go ahead and rest and feel better. Now let's go ahead and finish this up. I actually have OBS recording down below here. And as you can see, it's mirroring the same display here as here. An easy enough way to change that. We're going to right click, display settings. And from here, we're going to go from duplicate these displays to extend these displays. Windows does its own little dealio right there, and I'm going to keep changes. Do need to make a real quick change in OBS. All right, so now I am just recording screen 2. Now, one thing, I'm going to bring this actually over here so you can see it and see it on screen as well. One thing you may want to do is alter the position of monitor 2 in relation to monitor 1. Now, the way that I have this set up, my laptop, monitor 1, is to the right of monitor 2. You can also see the aspect ratio differences here as well. And if I identify, there pops up the 2 and the 1 over here. Now I can adjust the brightness, white light or night light, color profiles, HDR if I wanted to. I could scale things. On this one, I want to make sure I have number 2. I'm going to apply. And then we are going to come down here to the resolution. As you can see, it's actually boxing it. It's cropping the top of this display off. I actually want to have it be the full 1920 by 1080. So it's going to refresh here. Do I want to keep these changes? Yes. Now, if you look at the text here, it's not as crisp. But for what I'm doing, it'll be good enough. So there's that. It works perfectly now. I can delete a couple of things that I had downloaded here. Had some stuff I was working on for my wife. Now, one thing I'm going to do too, let me again bring this down. One of the things I really wanted this for was for things like if I am working in Cura and doing 3D model making, or if I am doing things with my video editing software. So give this a moment to launch. We'll drag it over to our recording window here. So much bigger on this screen than this screen. If I'm in my editing software, I'm just going to launch my default, where is it here? My gameplay review template that I have here. I'm going to open that up. You hear the fan going more and more on the laptop as well as it does more and more work here. But now what I can do is I can have, use this for editing and use this screen simply for my files. Now, in addition to working as a computer monitor, which, I have to admit, pretty damn slick, not gonna lie, it also has other built-in functionality into it. And I've gone through, and I don't think this is gonna record on screen through OBS, but I just want to show you here on this camera. So it does have a number of apps like an Android TV would. So Samsung TV Plus. So it actually has live TV on here. Netflix, Paramount Plus, Prime Video, Hulu, Disney Plus, Apple TV, HBO Max, Peacock, YouTube. There's a built-in gallery, internet, Fandango. I actually downloaded, where is it here? In the apps, I had, I had downloaded the Paramount Plus. I added that because I was watching a bunch of Star Trek while I was sick with COVID and everything. One of the neatest features that it has, if you have a Samsung phone, let me launch it here, is what they call, it's like a tap to share. And the one thing you do need to make sure on your phone is that you have power saving turned off. So it's going to ask you now if I want to start casting with tap view. I do. And now it is going to connect wirelessly to the monitor. This I have found doesn't work the greatest. It just takes its sweet time to go ahead and do so. We're not going to wait on this, but I will tell you, I have watched, I'm going to disconnect this real quick, have watched Netflix, Paramount Plus, all the apps on here casting to this works terrifically. The last thing I want to test on here is gameplay. How does it work? Lag, latency, delay. And then for that, one of the things I do want to show you here real quick, I'm going to go home. And then go up to, I'm going to go up to the settings. So you have picture size modes. So if you are playing like a 4x3 game, you can have it, stretch to fit or zoom in position. Or you can also just do a standard 4x3. Zip out of that. The speaker quality, I have to admit, is better than it deserves to be. They're actually pretty good. It does have a game mode for either game mode or ultra-wide game mode. And basically for that, you can optimize your screen to improve performance. When using a gaming console, the screen may flicker when switching to the game mode. And then for ultra-wide game mode, set the game screen's ratio to wide for more immersive gaming. So we go ahead and it was enabled. I had clicked on it, disabled it. That'll bring it back up again. General settings on here too. Accessibility voice, so you can do voice commands on this as well. System manager for your time, language, device name, so on and so on and so forth. And it does support Apple AirPlay as well, so that is important on here. But I want to see, how does it play games? Is it laggy and doesn't have a bunch of latency? Well, if you saw a recent stream that we did, you kind of know the answer to it. But let's test it out. Here we have Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. This is actually playing on actual hardware. I have it going through my RetroTink 5X using HD Retrovision component video cables. And then I just unplugged the HDMI cable from my laptop here, going here, and man, this is sharp. I am digging this. Kind of a different view for the camera here. Just give you a shot of the gameplay itself. I will say I think the colors look vibrant. The brightness could probably come up a little bit. And I can adjust that myself. You're probably seeing a brighter picture right now through the camera than what I am seeing here. I have to admit, it feels like I'm playing on my television. So there's nothing super ultra negative as far as lag, latency, or anything along those lines. If you are sensitive to it, you'll probably notice it. Yes, got it. Hopefully here too you hear the, how good the audio is coming through. As small as these speakers are, I was not expecting them to sound this good. I was actually expecting them to sound really super tinny and probably not even use them, but overall, not too shabby. Let's try some Street Fighter real quick. Got Ken pretty quickly there. Now, I will say I'm seeing, I don't know if screen tearing is the right word to say here, but kind of some arcs in the sky. I am not seeing that as I play, so that's one of the problems with capturing like this. Oof. Nice combo there. So I wasn't able to pull off the Dragon Uppercut, so it may have a little bit of lag to it that I wasn't noticing in a platformer, but something like this, I would notice it a little bit more. We're going to finish things off here on the Switch with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And again, I got to say, this thing looks really, really good. Now, one thing on this, again, is the fact that the monitor is only 1080p, 60 frames per second, so something to keep in mind, but I am absolutely loving what I have here. So, overall, what do I think of this? First and foremost, it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's what she said. But no, in seriousness, I mean, when I have a 24-inch monitor, I'm like, well, going to a 32 wasn't going to be that much of a difference. It was a huge difference. I was not expecting this much disparity in size. I think the colors are good. I think the sound is a lot better than I expected. The apps work very, very well. And it actually works decently for gameplay. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I did use this as a monitor for a stream recently. Basically just kind of give everybody an update with the fact that, yes, I do have COVID, or that I had COVID. This is what I basically played through instead of through my TV. That way I was able to keep better track of the chat and everything, and it worked great for that. I think this looks great. It plays great. And for doing video editing and Photoshop and everything, man, that extra real estate really does make a difference. Now, when I'm doing the edits and using it as a PC monitor, I may step it down to that 1920 by 800 instead of 1280, just for, you know, a little bit crisper imagery and whatnot on screen. Excuse me. But for gameplay like this, 1920 by 1080 is great. I mean, it's fantastic. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up because otherwise I will be here playing forever. It's time for final thoughts. So yeah, big monitor is big, and I actually really am happy with how it's working, at least thus far for me. As far as editing and coding, so much more real estate, although when I do go to 1920 by 1080 for the resolution, I do feel like it blurs out the text versus going 1920 by 800. Now, I don't like having the top and bottom cropped. I bought a big monitor to have all the real estate, so it's one of those things that I wish it was sharper at that higher resolution on there. Well, actually, it would be a higher resolution because it's 800 versus 1900 by 1280, or 1920 by 1280. Anyways, it has been really convenient for me to be able to stream. I've actually streamed using it, and it worked great. No lag or latency that I can really detect as far as my gameplay. Is there some? I am sure there is some lag and latency there, but it's not something that is high enough that I notice myself at this point in time. It is only 1080p, it is only 60 FPS, so for those of you looking for a super high resolution 4K 120 Hertz refresh monitor, this is not it. Also, the sale has ended by the time you are seeing this, so it is not as good of a deal now as when I bought it, but it's one of those things, keep an eye out. I'm sure that they will have something similar, if not later on in the summer of 2022, maybe Black Friday, maybe other retailers will have it. But for the money, under $140 for a 32-inch monitor, this thing is pretty stinking awesome. Now, if you do want to go ahead and check it out, I will have a link down below where you can go ahead and do so. And if you want to check out any of the other videos that we've done here with other monitors, displays, docks, so on and so forth, those videos will be coming up for you right now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to help support Rock Solid Productions and be a part of our community, there's a number of different ways you can do so. First and foremost, join us over on our Patreon page or become a channel member here on YouTube. By joining through either one of those methods, you get early access to just about all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. We also give you shout outs at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also pick up some awesome Rock Solid Productions swag. We've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more available through our Teespring store on screen right now too. You can also pick up some of our awesome 3D printed cartridge stands, Amiibo holders, Nintendo DS holders, and more by visiting our 3D printer store on screen right now as well. Links for everything will be down below in a pinned comment. If you want to stay up to date with everything we have going on here at Rock Solid Productions, make sure that you're following us on the different social media networks. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions, Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK, and Twitter at RockSolidStudios. If you're looking to pick this and other retro and modern gaming accessories up, make sure that you head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. He has a feature over there called Castle Cash, where the more you spend, the more you earn towards future purchases, and Castle Cash is just like cash.
He also offers convenient payment plans for more expensive items over $50. Finally, make sure that you use promo code ROCKSOLID10 when you're shopping at CastlemaniaGames.com, as it can save you up to 10% on most items on the website. Again, thank you for watching this episode, and I cannot wait to see you again soon.